Who can forget the 1990 Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, the first African team to make it to a World Cup quarterfinals? The Roger Millers, the Cyril Makanakis, Tato Eta Stephen, and Thomas Nkono, just to name a few. That squad remains the best for many football fans. It was a culmination of two eras that saw Cameroon win two African Cup of Nations in 1984 and 1988. However, in my opinion, the pinnacle of Cameroon football is the team I'm going to talk about, the late 1990, early 2000 team. After the disappointment of the 1994 World Cup, the 1996 and the 1998 Nations Cup, Cameroon was eager to return to winning ways. But the country's national team has always struggled with smooth transitions, largely due to the lack of structure in the local leagues and also poor management. Talking about poor management, the 1998 World Cup ticket scandal symbolized the dysfunction and marked the end of an era for Vincent Onana's leadership at the Football Federation. There was a new sheriff on board by name Iya Mohammed, who took over with a fresh vision to revitalize the nation's football. One of the first key moves was relocating the football offices from the Omnisport Stadium to the current Fecafoot headquarters in Chinga, marking a symbolic shift in the direction of Cameroon football. His experience as former president of Cotton Sport Football Club, a testament to his success and ability to usher the team into a new era. With that said, this new era was supported by a talented team that showed promise during the 1998 World Cup. The transition was already in motion with a promising squad. The crop of players coming from the Brasserie Football School was a key building block. I'm talking about players like Salomon Olembe, Rigobert Song, Womelen, Jeremy Jitap, not forgetting other players like Mark Vivian Fouet, Kala Congo, Songo, the former Canon goalkeeper. They were all important building blocks. This team was under the leadership of Claude Leroy and his protege, Pierre Lechantre, who later took over coaching duties after the 1998 World Cup. They put together one of the deadliest strike force Cameroon will ever know. Chami Alphonse and Oman Bik were on their way out of the national team. Mboma was the man, and Eto'o became an instant impact with the Lions. Their back-to-back African Cup of Nations victories in 2000 and 2002, along with the 2000 Olympic gold medal, cemented their dominance in Africa. It took Cameroon exactly 12 years since the 1988 African Cup of Nations win in Morocco to build another team, the 2000 team that was able to lift the African Cup of Nations in Nigeria and Ghana. Why was the transition so long? Now let's talk a little bit about the Brasserie Football School, a football school that has provided Cameroon for decades with some good players. And some of these players I'll just mention were part of this team I'm talking about. I'm talking about Rigobert Song. I'm talking about Jeremy Njitap, just to name a few. It's important to also mention that the players, or some of the players that I've mentioned, like the Rigobert songs, like the Jeremy Njitaps, were also making waves in Europe. The Womelins, the Tame Meyer, Patrick Mboma, those were all iconic names in Africa and beyond. Names that were also recognized as good footballers in various European leagues. The infusion of young talent combined with strong leadership helped this team rise. Ranked 18th globally going into the 2002 World Cup, this was a team at the peak of its powers. Despite the immense talent, administrative challenges and controversies led to a total failure in Japan 2002 World Cup. Although the 2002 World Cup didn't meet expectations, and also the tragic death at the Confederation Cup of Marc-Vivien Foé later marked the end of an era, but their legacy remains undeniable. This team redefined Cameroonian football, showing the world that the Indomitable Lions were a force to reckon with, both in Africa and globally. Their achievements place them among the greatest African squads in football history. Thanks for watching. 90 in 5 by True Lion.